even in the void, if only I could do more.
Jessamine, Delilah's stronger now.
Am I to blame for Delilah's bitterness?
All this is her doing, and she'll die for it.
Our decisions have weight. I feel my time drawing to an end soon.
Jindosh wanted me to help him with a rather complicated problem. It would have enabled him to make his clockwork soldiers at a fraction of the cost. Clever man.
Not clever enough. What's wrong with people like that?
A restless mind and an empty heart, perhaps. Jindosh would have snuffed me out as soon as he got bored. I appreciate what Corvo did for me, freeing me from that place.
I searched for you, Anton. I would have found you.
I knew you'd try, Megan. They kept me going after they gave me to Jindosh.
Either way, you're back now. I'm glad.
Anton, you've had 3 days to rest. Tell me how to kill Delilah.
They tortured him. His body is covered with bruises.
Delilah has the throne and she has Emily. Anton, once we had you in a cage and you dared us to kill you, I need that man back.
Corvo, she's right. I can make electricity move from one side of the room to the other, but Delilah is beyond my understanding. When I came to Serkonos, I meant to leave everything behind. But when the assassination started, I couldn't ignore it. By the time Megan and I connected the murders to the Duke, it was too late. The Crown Killer came for me. It kept me alive from my knowledge that I saw things. Jindosh often had a visitor, Brianna Ashworth.
The curator of the Royal Conservatory.
Yes, Ashworth is dangerous. As obsessed with the occult as Delilah. Apparently, she's working on a device called the Oraculum.
There's more to her than either of you know.
If Ashworth is one of Delilah's lieutenants, I need to eliminate her. Who knows what this device is capable of, or what she's up to.
We'll take the skiff. I don't want to bring the dreadful whale any closer than we have to. There is a small dock in Syria Gardens, close to the conservatory. That's as far as I can take you. Ready to go?
Yes, let's go.
There'll be a Grand Guard presence outside the Royal Conservatory. Inside, be prepared for anything. Ashworth runs with an eclectic crowd. They'll be the real danger.
Someday I'd like to know more about how you met Ashworth.
I know you would. Trust me. Ashworth is important to Delilah. Which brings up something else. You might be able to exploit the Abbey of the Everyman in removing Ashworth from play. Turns out the Vice Overseer in Karnaca has been watching Ashworth from a hidden outpost near the Royal Conservatory. Check it out first if you want more options. Remember, if she's still working with Delilah, Ashworth is a grave threat.
Thanks, Megan. See you soon.
Welcome to my shop. Say, An acquaintance of mine is supposed to be holed up in an office overlooking the Royal Conservatory. Check on them if you're headed that way. I'd check myself, but the streets are locked down. I'd make it worth your time.
Now think about it.
See anything you like? Come in, my friend. Always a delight to see you. No need to wrap it for you, I suppose. I'm certain you will be satisfied with your purchase.
Someone's shooting at us!
Ashworth, curator of the Royal Conservatory. For a while, I've believed Ashworth has some connection to the occult in Karnaca. Something is happening that I don't understand. The Overseers are the forward face of the Abbey, but equally important are our sisters from the Oracular Order. To be direct, I suspect something is wrong within their sect. Subtle changes to the types of proclamations they've been making. Small but troubling deviations from tradition. But publicly saying anything along those lines will get me accused of heresy by my rivals within the Abbey. Is it possible that Ashworth has infiltrated the Oracular Order?
So Vice Overseer Byrne thinks Ashworth is interfering with the Oracular Order. If true, it's another reason she has to be eliminated. That? No, I'm sure.
Karnaca, my Karnaca, brothers and sisters of my blood, and all the little people who make this great city trundle along.
found an officer's pistol in the gutter. I think something else happened. Maybe they went inside the conservatory.
Look, Karnaka's leaking people. We tell ourselves we're keeping it together, but everyone's afraid of what will happen.
Look at you, leaving a trail of bloody boot prints across this dying city. Brianna Ashworth would have been miserable as a member of high society, forced to wed some bloated banker. Her only moments of real freedom, getting drunk at fancy balls, and slipping away to couple with strangers. It would have ended in an unhappy marriage and a late-night plunge into an icy river. But just before Mother and Father married her off, so many years ago, she found Delilah instead. It was all highways and graveyards after that, never looking back. Vice Overseer Byrne is an ambitious man, but he believes in the Abbey's mission, protecting the good people of the Empire against the likes of us. You know he'd be happier deep down if this ended with Brianna Ashworth's head on a spike. Maybe yours as well.
Karnaka's leaking. We tell ourselves we're keeping it together, but everyone is afraid of what will happen.
Look at you, leaving a trail of bloody boot prints across this dying city. Brianna Ashworth would have been miserable as a member of high society, forced to wed some bloated banker. Her only moments of real freedom, getting drunk at fancy balls, and slipping away to couple with strangers. It would have ended in an unhappy marriage and a late-night plunge into an icy river. But just before Mother and Father married her off, so many years ago, she found Delilah instead. It was all highways and graveyards after that, never looking back. Vice Overseer Byrne is an ambitious man, but he believes in the Abbey's mission, protecting the good people of the Empire against the likes of us. You know he'd be happier deep down if this ended with Brianna Ashworth's head on a spike. Maybe yours as well.
Did it!
place mostly shut. Somebody's still inside. There's a delivery.
Ashworth is somewhere inside the Royal Conservatory. I need to find out how a sword through the heart wasn't enough to kill our new Empress, Delilah.
Poor Lucinda. She wanted to raise the blood briar, but cannot. After trying to make greyhounds for weeks, she gave up. You should have seen the twisted things she made. All snouts and teeth and tails.
That's just the way it is, dear Parmelia. Delilah wears the outsider's mark, and some of what she can do flows down to us.
That doesn't seem fair.
Think about working your fingers raw, weaving nets, or raising cows to slaughter. Any of the gifts we receive is better than living under the boot.
That's true and fine. A wise way to look at things. But it won't help Lucinda rise any higher in Delilah's favor. That lavender torch.
I don't know, Delilah. Forgive me.
No, my dear. It's a loss. But I doubt he had anything more to give us.
Sokolov was taken away as well.
Who would want that ancient fool? Never mind. How goes the communion? I am hungry to whisper into the ears of the oracular sisters.
My influence grows. Last night, I walked through a dream with one of them, and we drank from a fountain in the town where she was born.
Vice Overseer Burns' suspicions were right.
Business with Jindosh won't affect things.
No. He continued to take her with the lenses. Thicker, thinner, more opaque. It was tiresome to watch. I still have the old lenses and cast-off parts piled in my workshop, but Jindosh finished some time ago. The rest is up to me, learning to use the machine. The tricky thing, touching the void through such a device.
Blood and biscuits. I look forward to using it myself once you're ready.
Will you visit soon?
Perhaps. Dunwall Tower is mostly in hand. The High Overseer won't be a problem anymore. And there's the matter of my own project. I grow more excited with each brushstroke. When I come to Karnaca, we'll drink an ocean of good wine and stay tight as a boiled owl. I look forward to it. For now, I need your eyes on the Duke. At least until we have the sisters under control. There's no one else I trust. I'll reach out to you again on the morrow. Farewell.
Goodbye, Delilah, my empress. A corpse? What in the world?
These odd lenses might be linked to what Ashworth is working on. Now to activate it and sever Ashworth's connection to the Void.
Do now? I'm ruined. That feeling. The things I could do. The touch of the void. Delilah. It was everything I had.
As if you could ever hide your face from me, Royal Protector. I see you there, back in the city that spawned you.
Brianna Ashworth is dead.
You murdering bastard! You had no right. You couldn't possibly understand what Brianna meant to me.
Just as I doubt you have any idea what I'd do to keep Emily from harm.
Perhaps I'll take a hammer to her tonight and drop the pieces over the side of a ship halfway to Pandysia.
I'm going to end your reign soon, Delilah.
Your sword can't still my heart, but I welcome you to try.
Ashworth's journal might tell me more about why Delilah can't be killed.
I meant nothing to my fine family, beyond an advantageous marriage and years of childbearing. They promised me to a man 3 times my age who wheezed on about our wedding night. But a curious thing happened on the way to the altar, Delilah. From the first time I slipped out of the manor in the dead of night, there was no returning to my cage. Looking at the stars and drinking wine on a rooftop, I was free. Instead of seen the overseers for marriage, I visited my father's banker and raced away from my old life toward Delilah. Those were the Coven's glory days. Delilah fell to the assassin Dowd. Her magic was lost, and the Coven scattered. I made a new life in Karnaca. Then I heard her whispering from the void, leading me to the Duke, who heard those same whispers. Together we worked to bring Delilah back into the world, changing the Empire from the home of Aramis Stilton 3 years ago. Across the Isles, all of us who'd been with her at Brigmore and before, we felt the magic return. Others joined. New faces, new blood. Now, Delilah is immortal. Forever. She holds Dunwall, and we've turned to corrupting the oracular order. The Overseers take guidance from their prophetic sisters, and soon we'll influence their dreams and visions.
The color of the sea yesterday.
No idea what that was.
Come in. Welcome back. I see you found the prototype.
Your acquaintance didn't make it.
It is a risky line of work, I'm afraid, but let's not dwell. I expect you'll be interested in payment. First your finder's fee, of course, and if you like, I can draw up some schematics based on the prototype, something you can use to modify your tools. And as a token of my appreciation, a discount at the shop.
A fair deal.
Come in, my friend. Always a delight to see you. Welcome back. Please, take your time. Excellent choice. You want blueprints for better weaponry. Weaponry. Excellent choice. No need to wrap it for you, I suppose.
So it's done.
Ashworth won't be a problem anymore.
Good. But Corvo, there's something else. Back when I lived in Dunwall, I did things that I'm not proud of.
You live long enough, that happens.
Yeah. But what I did is worse than most. I knew Delilah and Ashworth. Bought into their bullshit, which led me down a bad road. To be honest, before all this, I thought Delilah dead. I don't want to get into it right now, but I felt like you should know. There are things I regret, Corvo.
Deception doesn't make for good allies, Foster.
Is that what you think, Royal Protector? You'll have to tell me all your secrets someday. Are you ready to leave now?
Yes, let's go. Take me back to the dreadful whale.
Another step toward the Duke of Serkonos. And Delilah.
3 years ago, Delilah was laying her plans. The Duke's people gathered at the home of a mine baron named Aramis Stilton to commit some horror in her name. I need to know how they made her immortal. But where was I 3 years ago? Letting Emily daydream through council meetings, teaching her fencing and back-alley fighting. I always expected an enemy we could put down with a sword. Soldiers, spies, assassins. Instead, we got something else. Beyond the pale. Beyond the natural world. Instead, we got hit by someone like me.
Megan can take care of herself. Megan is out in the city, but I'll explain.
I need to know why Delilah can't be killed. Everything we've learned implies that something strange happened at Aramis Stilton's home 3 years ago, but then he disappeared.
Stilton lived in a bunker kept secure by a fancy lock made by Jindosh. Maybe inside you'll learn more about how to stop Delilah.
But I have to get there first, through a ruin created by the Duke, where I used to live.
Megan had an intriguing idea. Paolo is leader of the Howlers. He wants Vice Overseer Byrne killed, and of course, Byrne wants Paolo dead too. Both groups will attack you on sight, but walk in with the corpse of their chief enemy, and they'll treat you like family.
So that gives me at least one way into Aramis Stilton's house.
I'm pretty sure that will work.
Coming back here, seeing it changed, run into the ground. Some people have reached beyond others.
So the Royal Protector is headed into the Dust District. Corvo says he hasn't been back in a long time, and I can't blame him for that. According to Sokolov, he'll be trying to get into Aramis Stilton's house. Not easy. I've tried. Stilton was a friend. Even as a mine owner, he was a good man who came up from working people and never forgot it. I went looking for him the night he disappeared. But the house was swarming with the Grand Guard. I showed them what I was worth, but it cost me. I'll live to see that score settled.
Ready now?
Let's go.
We'll take Megan's skiff closer.
I didn't know Aramis Stilton. Who was he?
Loyal to the old Duke. Stilton helped build modern Karnaca with those silver mines. Worked his way up from nothing to a fortified mansion. But the new Duke spends money so fast, the mine crews work all day and all night. The district's in ruins. The dust drives out anyone except the most desperate.
The Duke of Serkonos has made a mess of things. His father was a good man.
True, but the new Duke's misery has only been possible with Dunwall's support. In any case, you'll have to pass through the Dust District. Maybe Stilton's still in there, or maybe he's dead. Find Megan once you reach the Dust District. She'll tell you more. I'll wait here.
Too many people. Good soldiers.
I get stuck out here. Tired of cleaning silver dust out of my ears. That's an assignment. All apples and slippers.
Howlers can't. Hello, Lord Protector. Stilton's home is just beyond here, but getting inside will take some effort. I've been doing reconnaissance, talking to people. The Overseers and the Howlers have divided up the district. Just ahead is neutral territory where no one will harass you. But further on, the Howlers and the Overseers both have boundaries set up. And beyond those points, they'll attack you on sight.
Aramis Stilton is the real goal. Sokolov said you'd worked out a plan.
Yes. I believe that if you take out Paolo or Vice Overseer Byrne, the other one will grant you safe passage, and will help you get inside Stilton's home. Neutralize either one of them, and bring him to the other.
Got anything else?
Byrne is protected by the Overseers. Paolo has the Howlers, but I think he's also got some kind of black magic charm. They say he's got to die twice before the sun sets, or he can't be killed. Good luck with that.
Jemmy's sister says you can beat any lock in the city. I'm not sure why Stilton's house needed to be shut.
From the mines falling on the city.
Never mind. Maybe another time.
Or not. Let's go.
You may not be aware that our silver mines are operating past full capacity in order to fund our conflict against the Northern Isles. That's not dust. It's the blood of our enemies.
I want to go to sleep without wondering if I wake up.
Everything works. One side and out of there. And that's exactly. Don't disappoint him.
Sure.
This week either. At this rate. This little war scares off buyers. You wouldn't know anything about that shop that got hit, would you? Oh, but you have to be the person who helped out one of ours in the conservatory district. Special discount for you then.
Bello, are you sure you know what you're doing?
I studied field tactics with Brother Cardoza in the peninsula. The pirate crews there resort to these same dirty tricks.
Seems like a good way to take a dart to the belly.
Well, the Howlers aren't known for their caution, but these aren't too hard to deal with if you've got a steady hand.
Please stop!
Begging won't change anything. You stand accused of actions forbidden by the teachings of the Abbey of the Everyman. Given that each crime was witnessed or later verified by sworn and faithful overseers in good standing, no trial is required. For theft of food, for hindering a sworn overseer of the Abbey in his duties.
What's going on here?
Yet it caught my eye.
Why be tempted by
Somebody's
such
down!
gilded nothings?
Huh? I'll have a look around. What? I don't like that. Better have a look. Hey, Spikes! What happened here? I will find you, you know. Resign serving unpunished. Just what you think I'm a win? Yes. Come out, wherever you are.
Hasn't shared his plans with me. He's upstairs now, so I assume we'll learn something before long.
I'd wager it'll all be over soon. I'm surprised it's taken us this long to deal with a mob of ruffians.
You know what the strictures say about wagering, brother? The Howlers are merciless, and Paolo carries the outsider's blessing. Some talisman come straight from the jaws of the void itself.
I didn't see the one coming through the window. She was quick.
Soon. The sisters of the oracular order have seen it, and I feel it in my bones. So this stalemate with the Howlers must be resolved. If we eliminate Paolo, there's no end to the influence we'll exert over Karnaca. over all of Serkonos.
A dozen overseers have died trying to bring Paolo down. We've struck him fatal injuries, and somehow he comes back the next day to fight again. Whatever witchcraft he has, even the ancient music is ineffective.
I believe Paolo is in possession of some unclean artifact. It's my fear that he has to be killed twice in one day.
And the Duke won't help?
The Duke is no friend of ours. He exiled me from the Grand Palace, and he's done everything possible to push the Abbey of the Everyman out of Serkonos. The look on his face when he dismissed me from court. There's something wrong with people who live in palaces for too long.
Bob's pictures.
Eric, I need a alarm.
It's not like that. Mindy says he's carrying some old lady's hand. Which? Dead a dog's age ago. Maybe before we were born.
Nasty. But it keeps them alive.
I'm inside. Where's Paolo? This must be Paolo's place.
In case you're wondering, Paolo's not one of those unhinged cultists who believe I will grant them favors if they leave a big enough offering or play just the right musical notes. He doesn't care a fig for me. But he put up this shrine because he found the hand of an old witch I knew once. And Paolo saw right away that it pays to have an edge. Sometimes pieces of us linger long after we're gone. The Duke of Serkonos inherited a vibrant city and wasted no time stripping it to the bone. What will he leave behind? And what about you? Who will you leave to pick up the pieces here in the Jewel of the South?
Once the Abbey's off our backs, I'll make it. You'll see that mines producing at half speed are more profitable than mines producing nothing.
Better working conditions and less dust in the streets, we'd be happy to up our payments.
There's a way to satisfy everybody. First, in this district, then the people who work. The mines have more power than they.
Thank you,
Don't drink all the rum while I'm gone.
Let's see what our friend looks like.
For so long, I put this all.
Should spat right in his eye. That's what I should have done next time.
It's no use. Next time.
What?
Huh?
Paolo had Granny Rag's hand.
keys around here. And this time it ain't me.
Poison here.
So a person can't breathe.
That's it. The information was good. Time is an odd thing. I left Karnaca decades ago, excited about all that Dunwall might hold. I remember falling in love with Jessamine, watching her crowned as Empress, Emily's birth, the Rat Plague, then Jessamine's death and another coronation. Now all this, back in the city where I was born. How many more lives do I have to take before it all ends? Stilton's home hides a mystery, but I'll tear it apart brick by brick to learn the secret of Delilah's immortality, as long as this ends watching her cough blood. Delilah might have pulled herself up from nothing, but I ran out of sympathy for tyrants and witches a long time ago. All I want is to put an end to Delilah and make sure Emily is safe. One more time.